America isn't breaking on Wall Street. It's breaking at the dinner table. People with full-time jobs are going to bed hungry. And that's how depressions actually begin. So, if the economy is strong, why can't working families afford food? People aren't starving in the streets. They're starving quietly at home. They're buying less, skipping items, putting things back before checkout. Parents telling their kids they're not hungry. Workers hiding hunger during lunch breaks. Families stretching one meal into two. Nothing looks broken, but everything is strained. This doesn't look like the Great Depression. There are no bread lines wrapping around buildings, no empty grocery shelves, no black and white photos of desperation. In fact, everything looks normal. The stores are full, the lights are on, food is everywhere. And that's exactly why most people think nothing is wrong. But depressions don't start when food disappears. They start when food exists, and people can't reach it. Today, the shelves are full, but wallets are empty. You can see the food. You just can't afford it without sacrificing something else. Rent, gas, electricity, or next week. That's the illusion, because abundance doesn't matter when access is gone. This isn't a crisis you can photograph easily. There are no dramatic visuals, just small, repeated compromises that slowly drain dignity. And that's how modern depressions begin. This is the part history books don't explain properly. In the 1930s, the problem wasn't effort. People worked. Food still existed. The problem was access. There were jobs, but wages collapsed. There was food, but no money to buy it. So hunger became visible. Bread lines, soup kitchens, public desperation. That's why we remember it. Now look at today. People still have jobs. Food is everywhere. The shelves are full. So everyone assumes the system is working. People didn't suddenly get lazy. They didn't stop budgeting. They didn't forget how to work. What broke was the equation. Wages moved up slowly, about 3 to 4%, just enough to look like progress, not enough to change anything. In 2019, a typical family could feed themselves on around $150 a week. By 2026, that same cart quietly crosses $250, sometimes $300. Not because families are buying more, because prices changed. Eggs that averaged about $1 in 2019 now hover closer to $4. Milk that felt normal then now feels optional. Nothing changed inside the house, only the receipt did. Rent, utilities, insurance, every bill stacked on top of the last one. You might think this is inflation, but history shows inflation turns darker when wages stop protecting basic needs. When your income rises a few dollars, but your groceries rise hundreds, there is no adjustment that saves you. There is only sacrifice. Groceries slowly move off cash and onto credit cards. Today, nearly half of Americans carry grocery debt on credit cards. At first, it feels temporary. Just this week, just this month. Then it becomes routine. Survival gets financed. And this isn't happening in one place. From California to Texas, from Washington to Mississippi, the behavior is the same. Different accents, same math, full-time jobs, half-full carts, receipts that don't make sense anymore. This is what collapse looks like now. Not sudden unemployment, but working families doing everything right and still falling behind. When the math fails, effort stops mattering. Wages exist, but they don't stretch. Costs rise faster than paychecks, and the gap gets filled, not with savings, but with debt. In the 1930s, when money ran out, life stopped. Today, when money runs out, credit takes over. That's the only real difference. Instead of bread lines, there are checkout lines. Instead of soup kitchens, there are minimum payments. Instead of public hunger, there is private exhaustion. People don't collapse all at once. They swipe, they borrow, they promise themselves they'll fix it next month. And because credit delays the pain, the collapse looks invisible. No protests, no panic, no headlines screaming emergency. Just households slowly sinking. Groceries on cards, bills on cards, food debt becoming normal. In the 1930s, hunger forced the truth into the open. Today, hunger is financed. And that's why this depression doesn't look like one, because the system didn't remove hunger, it just hid it. The only difference is this: hunger is hidden behind credit cards now. And when survival is financed instead of solved, collapse doesn't come suddenly. It stretches, it quiets, it becomes routine. That's the pattern. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. If this is happening everywhere, why does it feel like no one is saying it out loud? Because on paper, everything looks fine. GDP is up. Markets move. Headlines say the economy is strong. But GDP doesn't measure stress. It doesn't measure skipped meals. It doesn't measure the moment someone puts an item back on the shelf. Jobs numbers look healthy too. People are employed. Unemployment stays low. But those numbers ignore what life actually costs. They don't ask whether a paycheck still covers food, rent, and utilities at the same time. So the system looks stable while the people inside it are stretched thin. Debt does the rest. Credit cards absorb the shock. Buy now, pay later delays the damage. Minimum payments keep things moving. Pain doesn't disappear. It just gets postponed. And when pain is postponed, it becomes invisible. The final reason is the quietest one. People blame themselves. They assume they mismanaged. They think they should be better with money. They stay silent because struggle feels personal. But this isn't a personal failure. When millions of people in different states with different jobs all make the same mistakes, it's not behavior, it's structure. The system allows people to survive just enough to avoid panic, but not enough to feel secure. That's why there's no outrage, no breaking moment, no clear line where things collapse, just exhaustion and silence. And when a crisis convinces people to blame themselves, it can grow for a very long time without anyone stopping it. This isn't a prediction, and it isn't fear. It's a pattern. Depressions don't start when people stop working. They start when working stops working. When a full-time job no longer guarantees food. When effort no longer creates stability. When progress feels like running in place. That's the line history keeps drawing. Not at unemployment, not at market crashes, but at the moment people realize their labor can no longer protect their basic needs. That realization doesn't explode. It sinks in. People adjust. They cut back more. They borrow longer. They accept less. And the danger isn't that people panic. The danger is that they adapt. Because adaptation makes the crisis sustainable. And sustainable crises grow quietly. No speeches. No riots. No alarms. Just normal days getting heavier. And when eating becomes a luxury for people with jobs, history doesn't show a calm ending. It shows long consequences that arrive slowly and don't leave gently.